Just completed April. So let's just go over that real quick. Um, as you can see, first half of April was good. Second half of April, more losing days than winning days, but I had a pretty big trade on the 21st. Um, but those don't really matter. I'm trying to figure out, when is my setup not effective. And honestly, I have a pretty good idea after backtesting this month. Um, Whenever price has just very heavy bias, let me get my. Whenever price has very heavy bias, this setup is definitely not effective. Um, and one of the things I need to do that is understand in real time when it's not effective, right? So yesterday, that would be not yesterday. The day before would be a good example. So on Thursday, we just spilled the entire day, right? I had multiple levels that were hit and price didn't reverse, right? So, um, that's like an example of you needing to understand how heavy the bias is that day, or just how heavy the bearishness or bullishness is that day. And typically, what we'll see when we'll see this form is we'll have a big expansion in the previous day, and then the overnight session is just like this, and then we just continue to go down, and we hit something, and then we go up. But it's typically later in the day that we actually see that reversal, right? So let's say we have like a fat gap here. Later in the day, we see the reversal. So trying to find those reversal setups in the early New York session is just very difficult to do, and honestly doesn't really happen. So that is when my um setup really isn't effective. In that case though, I definitely wanna find. So there's two things I can do. As you can see, big expansion, and then we just kind of, and then we just dump in that market in New York session. So I can either just not trade those days, but I could also find so for those specific days, I could just do a different setup. That's kind of what I want to do, because there's still opportunity in this market. Like, just because we're just going down, there's still opportunity, because the bearishness is so strong. You just get a decent entry, like you enter right here, and you've pretty much got a banger trade, right? So the opportunity is so strong. I feel like you just can't pass it up. So I definitely want to learn a setup for that, for these kind of days. You can see these earlier entries, or not earlier entries, but just these these entries where you almost catch the near top of whatever continuation is about to happen of the bearishness. It's just so there's just so much you can catch. So I really need to focus on that. And that is honestly one of my weaknesses in terms of my trading, is when price is very heavy in a direction. I always want to catch the top or bottom of something, but I need to learn to just trade continuation. That is honestly one of my biggest struggles. I hold on way too much to a bias and not switching it when I'm proven wrong. Um, so flipping my bias is something I really struggle with, especially when I'm confident like it's this thing, but the market will do what it wants, so you just have to recognize that. Um, yeah. I think I'm gonna make a separate um what's it called, bro? Just like a separate session replay, I guess, like for that specific thing, because it's something I really struggle with. Um, so I can just kind of mess around with it and find what works for me. For all pretty much, I didn't journal any trades in April. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I really need to dial down on that and be consistent with it. Although I've been consistent with my back testing, I really need to be consistent with the discipline within it, which is the journaling, right? And that's honestly it. I feel like journaling and just like making sure you're actually doing it correctly is the best thing you can do. You can't just mindlessly backtest. Like there has to be some thought in order in order in order for it to be like very effective. Yeah, so let's go over some of the things that I've seen. So okay, so obviously we're up a lot. We're up 24K on the account. What did I just do? What the fuck? What the hell did I just do? Can I just hit that refresh joint? Refresh that bit. There we go. So our win rate has dropped down a lot. It was like 60 some percent, and it went to 50, and then it went to like 50. So it went down to 50. I got it up to like 52, and now it's at 49. For our RR, which is it averages 2.3. I mean, as long as we have good risk management, the win rate shouldn't be an issue. And also, a lot of my losses that I've been taking with this setup are because of the things I just talked about me not flipping my bias and holding on to a bias too much when I'm proven wrong, right? If I can just understand on those days I switch my setup to something else, then that would just negate the win rate. Because on those days, that's when I lose with the setup. Well, not negate the win rate, but we'll obviously bring it up because I'm not trading an ineffective setup on those days where price is more likely to hold bearishness or bullishness, right? So, yeah, 49% win rate, 2 break-even trades, 5 could have been whatever. So obviously 9 and 10 are the best days to trade with the setup. Not days, times to trade with the setup. And the win rate, damn, got getting cooked. Yeah, so looks like 10 is a really good time. Like 9, 10, and 11. Win rate on the days looks like Monday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday seems to be good days. Yeah. I mean, because our R is so high and we're able to catch bigger trades, the win rate doesn't matter too much. Obviously, I would like to get it above 50, as that would like you're pretty much like profitable. I mean, obviously, I am profitable with the setup, but yeah. So things to do over the weekend. Obviously continue to back test. I'm going to the gym today in like pretty much like 20 minutes, and then I'm going to the gym obviously Monday, not Monday, Sunday. Just keep trying to instill that discipline and consistency in my life, so that reflects in my trading. Yeah, that is my plan moving forward. practice flipping my bias and just making sure I'm comfortable with trading continuation. So I need to find a continuation model. Um, yeah. That's pretty much it. So, um, as I said, continue to practice discipline and be consistent. And that's something y'all should strive for too. So, y'all have a good day.